Hello teachers, this is the instructional guide for primary 2, term 4, week 11. Yeah, all right. So now let's see. So this week we're officially starting the P2s with primary 3 content. And we're going to be beginning with counting to 10,000, all right? So this should be relatively easy, but it's always good to go through what 10,000 looks like. By first of all thinking about what 1,000 looks like first, right? So now using these cubes, right, they are aware that each of these so-called squares here are 100. So 10 of it, right, would make it 1,000. And they can just count by doing 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, all the way to 1,000, right? So this is important for them to know. And then, so this is a recap, right, of what they have done in primary 2. And after that, for primary 3, right, so if each of these cubes is 1,000, so how do they count this? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and 10,000, right? So they should be clear. Now, in terms of so-called count, if let's say there's a combination of, thousands, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, how do they do it? Right, the way that we read it would be 2,000, right? 300, okay, and then N 42, right? 2,342, right? So important to teach them how to read this. Now, in terms of if you have to count it one by one, right, it'd be 1,000, 2,000, 2,100, 2,200, 2,300, 2,300, 2,310, 2,320, 2,330, 2,340, 2,341, 2,342. Okay, so counting it from the greatest to the smallest. All right, so this is the same thing as well. For this question about how many sweets do you think there are in bottle B? So it's an estimation, right? I think a good estimation would be 3 bottles would fit in there. And basically the idea of this particular lesson is for them to be able to count, right, in thousands, and then in hundreds, and then in ones. Okay, so allow them to do this quite easy. So I don't think you need to model. Get them to do this in class, and then you just go around and check their answers, right? Make sure that they understood the concept. Occasionally, you may test each other randomly, and so on. Now, this is something new, right? Writing a check. I think some of you may ask what are checkbooks. I will pass a check, a sample check to you guys, right? Teaching the P2s, perhaps tomorrow onwards, and then you can have an idea of what a check is about. Okay, so most of them don't understand what checks are, right? So checks are used to pay, for items. Okay, I mean these days we seldom do that. But good to tell them that it's important that in checks you need to write the value in numbers and then in words as well. Right? So how do you do it? 1,000, 649. Okay, just like what they have done in P2 as well when they're dealing with numbers. Just take note that after 1,000 there's a comma. Okay. All right. For independent practice, these are relatively easy unless you think that some of them still have difficulty counting. Right? Otherwise, I would think that perhaps just pick one question, right? Perhaps maybe F and G on page 12. Okay. And then for the other questions, these are again very easy. All right. I would say pick F and G as well. Right? Now words into numbers, especially 8,007, right? Something like that. And then after that, writing in words, pick F and G again to make it consistent. Okay, so check, make sure that you're able to write it out. These matching ones are quite easy, so I think I would skip. And then perhaps look at these questions, circle all the even numbers, so which are the even ones. Okay, one is already circled, and then after that, they are supposed to write the number. So you can do that in class with them. Okay, and then this checkbook, assign it as homework. All right. Okay, question 9, right? You can get them to do as homework. I would say never mind with question 10, right? So yeah, right. Not so. I personally I don't find this useful. Then we move on to booklet number 2. Okay, booklet number 2. It is on place value. I think this is a very important aspect. So to start by going through the numbers, this is 2,354. Start by refreshing them on the concept of the ones place, followed by the tens place, followed by the hundreds place, and the thousands place is something new to them. All right. So all these are digits, right? There is a number, there's a digit. They need to know that 2,354 is a number. A lot of them will say that, oh, 2 is number 3, number 5 is number 4 is number. But in this case, the 2,354 is a number. Circle it. And then each of this number has 4 digits. So this is a 4-digit number. And you have digits in the ones place, digit in the tens place, hundreds place, and thousands place. Okay, so important to explain to them that way. So the digit 4 then stands for 4. Digit 5 stands for 5 tenths or 50. Digit 3 stands for 300s or write in 300. And digit 2 stands for 2000 or simply write 2000 there. Okay, next page, important explain as well. So here where, you can ask them, where's the digit 2? All right, digit 2 is in the thousands place. Sometimes you can rephrase a bit, right? Which digit is in the tens place? Right, so keep using this language to familiarize them with them. And then also ask them about the value. So the value of digit 4 is 4. Value of digit 5, 50. Value of digit 2, 2000. Value of digit 3, 300. They should be familiar, right? To check with them, right? Don't just teach, ask them. And then you can give additional examples as well. Maybe you write your own numbers. You can write another number here, 4, 6, 5, 7. Okay, and then ask them what is the number, what are the digits, what are the digits in the tens place or hundreds place, and so on. What's the value? Okay. Guided practice. Get them to do on their own. Right. This is a good time for you to check their understanding. Okay. Particularly, I think page page 3, right, may be a bit challenging. So watch out. You may need to teach them if necessary. Okay, so 5 and 6, okay, get them try, right, guided practice. Okay, so again, guide, right, if you need to. I'm not too sure whether they remember what they've done in primary 2, right, earlier. If you have to, okay, just show the first view. Okay, all right. So by the time they're finished independent practice, right, they would be able to do most of these questions here. Right, so I would just say skip and perhaps get them to do a question on page 12, for example. All right, get them to do page 12, for example. And then after that, these are quite easy. Perhaps do one question on page 15, B. Okay, after that, let's see, go to 17 with them, page 17 with them. Okay, particularly question 13. Show them how to do it. Okay, so I think the answer key here is quite self-explanatory, right? So how many more $200? So they need to find out how much more money they need to give. So if it's $200, how many $100 notes? So this one requires them to read the question carefully. Okay. And then I would say perhaps do number 16, do one question with them, the smiley face one. Okay. Question 15, I think would be interesting to do some with them as well, because this is done differently. 6,056, right? It starts with ones and then tens and then thousand. It went backwards. So some students might be confused, right? So good to go through this with them. And then after that, color the cards with the same value. So I would always ask them to, for example, it's always good to get them to write out numbers first. So what is 80 plus 50 plus 2,000? So it's 2,000. And 80 plus 50 is 130. So definitely write it out like that. Right? 2,130. Right? And then this is 258, 2,058. Get them right numbers before they decide. 2,000, 5 tens, 5 tens, 2,000, 5 tens, 5 in the tens place, 8 ones. Okay, then they'll be able to see which 2 cards have the same value, right? So do teach them how to do 17. And that's it for these 2 booklets. The third booklet is a heuristic booklet. If let's say you are ahead of time, all right, you can start going through the heuristic booklet with them. Okay, the rest can be assigned as homework. So this is holiday period, right? Feel free to assign all as homework, right? Complete all. Okay, complete all for all work, 3 booklets. And that's it for this week's instructional guide.